Welcome all. Today's topic is LCD, liquid crystal display. In the previous lessons, previous video class, we have learned about some special semiconductor device starting from varactor diode, then UJT, and afterwards we have learned about photodiode, phototransistor, and photovoltaic cell. All these special semiconductors device will have special construction procedure and circuit symbol, followed by we have seen the characteristics, output characteristics, and analyzed the characteristics, how they will behave by applying the voltage or current, and any special characteristics like negative resistance region in case of UJT. And afterwards we have seen the applications of these special devices. Now we are moving on to the next topic, that is the LCD. Most of you know, most of you have already seen the LCDs in your daily life. In the case of, in the form of TVs, it's watches, and mobiles also we have seen. But how they will work? This is also a special device. LCDs are passive display devices. They do not emit light or generate light, but they can control the light. This is the most important here. Unlike LED nowadays LEDs are famous, but before that LCDs um, are mostly used worldwide. LED, light emitting diode, they will emit the diode, but in case of LCD, it's just a display. It will not, it is not a diode, it will not emit light. It's just a display. But liquid crystal from the right, liquid crystal. We are calling it as a crystal, and at the same time, it is also a liquid. So, what is the name indicates liquid crystal? We will see in the coming lecture. They are passive display device. They're not the active, so they do not change whatever the input or output. But they do not change the signal we are receiving. And these are the display device. LCD displays have good contrast ratio and very low power consumptions. That's why they are very famous, because of low power consumption and good contrast ratio. Contrast means the difference between different colors it can show, so that the display can be easily seen from a distance. Now we have to learn about the operation, principle of operation. The molecules in ordinary liquids usually have random orientation. In liquids, generally the molecules will have random orientations. Liquid crystals, the molecules are oriented in a definite crystal pattern. Generally, in crystals, molecules will have a orientation in all the same. That means all the molecules will have the same orientation. That means that will be like a lattice. Because of the molecules uniform orientation, we call it as crystal lattice generally. In the case of liquids, it is totally different. That is the random. You cannot say in a particular direction, particular orientation these molecules are. But in case of liquid crystals, molecules are oriented in a different crystal pattern. See the figure A and figure B. In figure A, we can see the molecules, but figure B, you can see the same molecules are migrating or orienting in different directions. Some are orientation towards the plus signals and some are towards the minus signals. The application of the electric field. What is this here? Plus and minus means we have applied the voltage to that crystal. In the figure A, we did not apply any voltage or EMF, but in the figure B, after applying the EMF. The application of the electric field to the liquid crystal will make these molecules align themselves approximately at right angles to the field. Aligning them, the molecules will align towards the right angle towards this plus and minus field. This molecular alignment is disrupted by charge carriers flowing in the liquid crystal. So this alignment, whatever the molecules align themselves in the right angle direction to the applied electric field, they will get disturbed by the charge carriers flowing in the liquid crystal. As a consequence, the liquid crystal is set in turbulence. It's like shaking, turbulence. In this condition, the liquid crystal is said to be in active state. The liquid crystal is said to be in active state when we apply the EMF and the molecules are aligned themselves in right angle direction, and whatever the charge carriers it possesses, they will move randomly and these orientation will get disturbed. In that condition, we said the liquid crystal is in active state. The liquid crystal is transparent when it is not activated. Crystal is transparent when it is not active. Transparent means we can see through. You can see through this. It's like a glass. You can see whatever it contains outside the glass, right? However, when it is activated, the molecular turbulence causes light to be scattered in all directions. Light will be scattered in all the direction. The activated areas then appear as bright. Activated areas will appear as bright. This process is called dynamic scattering. Because of some properties of these liquids crystals, whenever it is activated, the molecular turbulence causes the light to be scattered in all direction. The light will flow in this all direction because of this activeness and turbulence. The activated areas then appear as bright. Of course, this process is called dynamic scattering. Mention different types of LCDs: transmittive type and reflective type cell. Construction details. Construction. The liquid crystals display units are made of materials which are organic components. The liquid crystal display units are made of materials which are organic compounds exhibiting the optical properties of a solid but retain the fluidity of the liquid. See how complex these are. These liquid crystals display units are made of materials which are organic compounds exhibiting the optical properties of a solid. Optical properties of a solid, whatever this particular solid will have this particular optical properties. And fluidity of the liquid. What is the most important difference between a solid and liquid? Because it's a fluidity, right? Such typical materials are cholesterol, nonate, and p-azoxyanisole. These are some of the common liquid crystal materials. Observe the figure. In this, we have two transparent electrodes. These are like glasses on both sides, upper side and lower side. But in between them, a liquid crystal is placed by maintaining some space. Figure shows the construction of a typical liquid crystal cell. This is a single cell. In this type, a layer of liquid crystal material sandwiched between the glass. Right? It is placed in between the two glasses, upper glass and lower glass. The liquid crystal material is sandwiched. Sandwiched means they are placed in between the glass transparent electrodes. The thickness of the layer is 10 to 20 microns. See how narrow and how tiny it is. 10 to 20 microns. The cell is said to be transmittive type when both glass plates are transparent. See, we have seen the different types of LCDs. In that, first one is transmittive and second one is reflective. So this is a particular LCD cell that two transparent electrodes are placed. If the lower cell, if the two cells are transparent, then it is called transmittive type. The cell is called reflective type if only one glass plate is transparent while the other plate has a reflective coating. Other plate means whatever the plate, upper plate or lower plate, because both are same, right? We can see there is no particular direction. From this side only the light has to enter. From other type, that will be, it will be reflected, not like that, right? Any of the one is reflective, coated with a reflecting coat, then the other will allow the light edge, so it can be any of the glass. In that case, it is called reflective type cell. For transmitting, both has to be transparent. So the operation, so how will cell will work when unactivated? Transmittive type, first is transmittive type when both the electrodes, transparent electrodes, or glass types and transparent. When unactivated, the transmittive type cell simply transmit at a rear edge lighting through the cell in straight lines. In this case, the cell will not appear bright. Read it again. When unactivated, the transmittive type cell simply transmit at rear edge lighting through the cell. In this case, the cell will not appear bright. It will allow the lighting through the cell in straight lines. They are not scattered. Straight lines, it does not mean it is scattered, right? Only in single direction. And the direction is rear edge. It is passing through the edge of the cell. So we cannot see the whole cell as activated. And we cannot see the whatever the letter or whatever the dot, whatever the it is going to be displayed, we cannot see, because it is only illuminated around the edges. The light is passing through the edges. In this case, the cell will not appear bright. However, when the same cell is activated, the light is diffusely scattered in forward direction and the cell will appear quite bright. This phenomenon is shown in figure. See the figure. When the unactivated LCD, the light transmitted from the light source. See, we have the light source. Light source should be there because LCDs are not active displays, they are passive displays and they do not emit light. Remember, right? So we need LCD, that is like light source. When the LCD is unactivated LCD, so it will allow the light in a single direction. And when it is activated, that is when we apply the electric field. When we apply the electric field plus minus directions, the molecules will align in the right angle direction, and the charge carriers whatever present in between them, they will try to make these alignments disturb and it causes the turbulence. So when the LCD is activated, the light source, instead of this straight line in the first figure, in the second figure, because of this activation of the LCD, the light will scatter in all directions, in the directions above the LCD, because it cannot scatter below this or whatever. It is scattering in the below direction also, that can be reflected. That is the case of reflective type actually. So in the forward direction, if you see, the light is scattered. If we view from this top angle, then we can see whatever it is going to be displayed. In the reflective type, in this reflective type cell, light is incident on the cell on its front surface. Under unactivated condition, the cell reflects the incident light from the mirror surface and does not look bright. See, in this reflective type, when it is unactivated, the light source is instead from the top. If we can remember some of the display device, that in case of it is calci or calculators or some like watches or some of the display device, you can see whenever we switch on that device, you can see small light sources. They are emitting the light and it towards the inside of the LCD. It is towards the inside of the LCD. Then the LCD will be totally displayed. So those are particular reflective type. So in this reflective type, the light source is above the LCD, and when it is unactivated, only single line will be transmitted. When it is activated, obviously, then it causes the scattering, that is turbulence, dynamic reflection. Then the whole light source will be scattered in all directions. So under unactivated condition, the cell reflects the incident light from the mirror surface and does not look bright. See, incidental light from the mirror surface. When we incident a light on a mirror, what will happen? It will it will reflect the same light in a certain angle, but not in the all directions, right? Under activation, the same cell becomes very bright due to dynamic scattering. Due to the dynamic scattering. So list the merits and demerits of LCD. Imagine the working of LCD. It's some experiment. See, if there is a mirror at your home, then keep the mirror constant and make a light source like your torch from the cell or from a normal torch light. Make the light to be fall on the mirror at certain angle. Then what you will see, the light is reflected in certain angle. If you see the light in that angle only, then the mirror looks bright. If in the other angle, then the mirror looks common. It means not a normal mirror. But when you shake the light source, that means keep the light falling on the mirror, but by making some shake turbulence in the light source, then what will happen? The mirror looks bright in all directions. The same experiment, by making the light source as constant, and make the mirror vibrate, that means turbulence in the mirror, turbulence in the LCD. The light source should be of the same size of this LCD. So what happens? Then again the mirror looks bright in all the directions, not only in single direction, because of the turbulence in the mirror. So same concept here. Okay, so that's how the LCDs will work. Simple concept. Merits and demerits of LCD displays. Following are the disadvantages of LCDs. First, the disadvantage: why LCDs are replaced by LEDs in a short period of time, right? Output of LCD is not visible clearly in some cases. This is right, because when the ambient light is more, the LCD is not displayed correctly, and the direction of visibility, the angle of visibility is restricted. That means if it is LCD display of your laptop or of television, you cannot see clear picture after certain angle, right? It is in case of LED, then you can visible the picture clearly in every direction, in almost whatever the angle LCD is showing. It is more than that. It will be more than which that value. In case of LEDs, they are not very reliable, because if it is of high voltage or high current, and number of operations also, the switching off and the switching on keep on, right? And speed of display of characters or refreshing rate, these are all lower in case of LCDs. Slow in operation, right? They are very sensitive to damage by over voltage or over current. It requires large area. See, single character displays and double line displays, they will require larger areas because every cell will be a pixel, will be a powered of pixels. These are having limited temperature range, operation range, temperature range. In LCD, AC square wave drive is used to display the and to emit the light. It has to be driven by a AC square wave. Important applications mainly used in the application: watches, pocket calculators, pocket televisions, portable instrument displays, computer monitors, and cellular phones. These all you know and you have seen the LCD displays in all these electronic devices, right? So this is the end of the fifth chapter. uh, Today we have seen about LCD, but remaining half an hour, right? We are going to learn the six chapter topics. So six chapter topics, that is wave shaping circuits. That is the name of the sixth chapter, and the subtopics objectives of wave shaping circuits. First, the list the different types of clippers and unbiased and biased clippers with waveforms, double-ended clipper with waveforms, output waveforms of a given clipper circuit for sinusoidal or square input. Draw the clipper circuit for a given input and output waveforms. So 6.1 to 6.5, it is all about the clipper circuits. And next is 6.6, explain the principle of clamper circuit. Clamper applications of clippers and clampers, simple clippers and clampers. So that is clamper circuits. Next is sweep voltage. Sweep of voltage, sweep waveforms, voltage and current time based generators, sweep signal, voltage time based generator operation, current time based and operation, bootstrap sweep circuit, operation of bootstrap, Miller sweep and operation of Miller sweep. These are all the different circuits which will produce non-sinusoidal, and they are part of sinusoidal also, but not a purely sinusoidal. They will shape the wave, output wave shape will be different from the input wave. Whatever we are giving it to the input of the circuit, right? They will shape that circuit because of the application. Whenever we are going to use these circuits, they will have some applications, right? So see the topic. First topic is list different types of clippers. Clippers are unbiased or biased, double-ended or two-level clippers. Unbiased or biased because of the applied biased voltage. If we apply the bias, that is biased clipper. If we do not apply, it is unbiased. Then series clippers and shunt clippers. Both can be possible in this. Both unbiased and biased also. Both can be possible. Unbiased series clippers, biased series clippers, unbiased shunt clippers, and biased shunt clippers also. And again, series clippers we have positive series, negative series. Shunt clippers also positive clippers and negative clippers. Unbiased positive clippers also possible, biased positive clippers, unbiased negative and biased negative. Unbiased positive shunt clippers, biased positive shunt, unbiased negative shunt, unbiased negative shunt. So these are all the different circuits. By simply changing the direction or applying the biasing or not, we can see each and every circuit also. So first one, series or shunt. How it is possible, where on what basis we call it as series and shunt? Because orientation of the diode, how the diode is placed with respect to the input signal source. Series diode clipper and shunt diode clipper. According to bias applied, whether it is unbiased or biased. According to device used, whether it is diode or transistor. According to clipping of the input, whether it is positive clipping or negative clipping. So which part of the signal is clipped? If it is positive clipper, then it is called positive clipper. If it is negative clipper, it is called negative clipper. So now moving on to the second topic, that is the starting of these clippers. Explain the unbiased and biased clippers with waveforms. Unbiased and biased clippers. So it didn't mention whether it is series or shunt. So going into the topic, first unbiased series positive clipper. See clearly the name is indicated as unbiased series and positive clipper. A positive clipper is circuit is that which removes the positive half cycle of the input voltage, which removes the positive half cycle. The positive half cycle has to be removed. In the figure A, if you see in the figure B, the upper portion is the upper wave is the input waveform, the lower wave is the output waveform. So if you see, if you compare these two, then we can say the upper portion, that is the positive portion, is removed. So that's why it's called a positive half cycle, positive clipper. And the figure A shows the typical circuit of unbiased series positive clipper circuit using diode. Figure A shows the unbiased series positive clipper. We say first it is a positive clipper, so the clipper, whether it is positive or negative, because becomes know when the output is drawn. But in the topic we have mentioned about series clipper. So the series or shunt depends on what? Depends on the diode connection, diode or transistor connection with the input source. So first see the figure A. In that Vin, voltage input is connected to this diode in series. So it is called a series clipper, and it is removing the positive portion. So that is called positive, that is series positive clipper. Unbiased, there is no bias, the DC source, there is no DC source applied to this circuit, so it is called unbiased. What is the V input? That is AC wave, sinusoidal wave, right? So we didn't apply any bias, so that's why it is called a unbiased series positive clipper. See the working. First you should see the working. First draw the circuits. Everybody must draw the circuit. Figure A circuit only the figure A circuit. With input source, we connected the D diode in series and the load RL, load resistor, and we are taking the output at resistor, right? Now see the working. That means whenever we apply the input waveform, sinusoidal waveform, and consider the diode as ideal, most important is consider the diode is ideal, but you can draw the waveform for a practical diode also by considering the cut-in voltage. So what happens when we consider the ideal diode, that is the cut-in voltage is 0, and the ideal diode characteristics will be used in the working of the circuit. What are the characteristics of an ideal diode? We don't have any cut-in voltage, that is cut-in voltage is 0, right? And the forward resistance is 0 and reverse resistance is infinity. That means forward bias resistance is 0, means it will act as a short circuit for forward bias, and for reverse voltage, if it is the resistance is infinity, means it will act as open circuit for reverse bias. So what happens when you apply the voltage, input voltage, sinusoidal voltage for this particular circuit? See the V input waveform, draw the input waveform, in the figure B, the first upper waveform, a smooth sinusoidal waveform starting from 0 and reaches to the positive maximum of plus Vm and decreases to 0, and again it increases in the reverse direction, reaches to the negative peak of minus Vm, and again decreases and reaches to the 0, again increases and decreases. Like this it will continue. Draw at least 2 cycles. Draw at least 2 complete cycles. 2 complete cycles are enough. Okay, and draw the 0 points. 0 points wherever it is touching the x-axis at 0, right? Draw a dotted lines towards the output waveform. Towards the output waveform. Draw the dotted lines. Use the pencil. Use the pencil effectively. Don't draw the output waveform. We should draw the output waveform by understanding the circuit and applying the input theoretically. Right? Don't draw the output waveform. So indicate the plus Vm and minus Vm. So we have drawn the input waveform. First see, the input is starting from 0. Okay, input is starting from 0. So what happens when we apply the 0 voltage here? That is the N terminal of the diode is applied with 0, and there is no application of voltage towards the P. So with both terminals P and N terminals at equal voltages, then the diode acts as open circuit only. Diode acts as open circuit, and if it, in this case if it is closed circuit also, there is no effect, right? There is no effect because V input is 0 only. So the whatever the output we are taking from the load resistor is also 0 because no current is flowing through this circuit because of the 0 voltage. The circuit is open, so no output will be present. Now just increase the input voltage, that is as the time passes, time reaches to some 0.1 second assume, then the voltage increases in the positive direction. The voltage increase in the positive direction, and we have considered it as an ideal diode. So apply the same to this diode. The voltage is increasing in the positive direction. That means N terminal of the diode is applied with a positive voltage, and P terminal no voltage is applied, right? Whenever the N terminal is applied with the positive and P is relatively low voltage compared to the N, then it is said to be in reverse bias because N terminal is applied with a positive voltage. Next, reverse bias. So for an ideal diode, if it is in reverse bias, it will act as an open circuit. So then the figure C, see the figure C, during the positive off cycle, this will happen when the V input is greater than 0 and it is applying in the positive direction, so plus and minus. See, the diode is open circuit, then whatever the current it is flowing, that is no current will flow in the circuit because the circuit is open, and IL is 0, load is 0. So what is the output? We are taking across the load resistance, so V output is equal to I into R. So IL into RL, IL is 0 into RL something, so 0 into something is 0 volts. So then we will have the output as 0. So draw the V output up to Vm, also V then it will become 0 only. So during the entire positive half cycle, the diode will be in reverse bias, so it will act as open circuit. So then there is no current and there is no output voltage. So during the entire positive half cycle, the output is 0. Next, consider the reverse, that is negative half cycle. During that portion, what happens? The V input is less than 0. Then the reverse, that is minus voltage applied across the N terminal of the diode. Minus voltage is applied across the N terminal of the diode, that is negative terminal. And with the P, for the P, there is no voltage applied, right? So what happens? Negative is connected to the N terminal and P is connected to 0, like assume it as 0. Then it will be in forward bias. And it will be in forward bias. So we are considering it as an ideal diode. So in case of forward bias, the ideal diode will act as a short circuit. So replace the diode with short circuit and draw this figure D. So during the negative half cycle, V input is less than 0 and negative is applied across the N terminal of the diode. So it is the forward bias and diode is present with a short circuit. And the circuit is closed. Circuit is closed. Then the current direction. See the current direction, because we have applied a negative half cycle here. The current will flow from positive to negative. Positive to negative. That's why it is in anti-clockwise direction. The current is in anti-clockwise direction. So whatever the voltage we are taking across here, the output is across the RL. Then the output is what? Output first we consider it as from positive during the upper portion and negative during the, but here the voltage is we are getting in the reverse direction. And see, without any considering the current also, you can see simply from the KVL equation, Kirchhoff voltage law, or same as parallel resistance concept. See the voltage whatever is applying across the resistance load, that will apply across the voltage, output voltage. See whatever the input here we are applying, the diode is short circuit, so the entire voltage will appear across the load resistance. So the output voltage is also with the is same with the input. So that's why we have written V output is equal to V input, the negative and positive direction same as the input. So draw the same negative half cycle of the input in the output waveform. Only the first cycle. During the first cycle we have seen positive half cycle. During the entire positive half cycle, the diode is reverse bias, so it will act as an open circuit. The output voltage is 0 because of the no current will flowing in that load resistor. During the entire negative half cycle, the diode will be in forward bias, so it will act as a short circuit. The entire input voltage whatever we applied will come across the V0, that means V output. So the rest draw the same same negative half cycle of the input waveform across the output waveform also, and this cycle repeats again and again as long as we apply the input voltage. See, that's how this circuit will work. Now compare the both input and output waveforms. The positive portion of the entire positive portion of the input is clipped. Entire portion of the input waveform is clipped, so that's why it is called a positive clipper. And the diode is in series with the input waveform, that's why it is series positive clipper. And we don't apply any of the bias DC voltage, that's why it is called a unbiased series positive clipper. So this is the theoretical explanation. So see case 1, during positive half cycle of the input signal, when V input is greater than 0, the diode is reverse bias and it acts as open circuit, therefore no current will flow through the resistor RL, hence the positive half cycle is clipped off. V output is called 0 volts for V input greater than 0. And during the negative half cycle of the input, when V input is less than 0, the diode is reverse bias and it acts as closed circuit. Then sinusoidal current IL flows through the load resistance RL in anti-clockwise direction. Therefore, the entire negative half cycle of the input is available at the output. So V output is called V input for V input less than 0. Thus, positive series clips of the positive half cycles of the input waveform. The output waveform is shown in figure B. Note: the unbiased series negative clipper circuit can be obtained by changing the direction of the diode in unbiased series positive clipper circuit. See the diode direction. We have connected the diode in certain direction, that is P and negative. We have two terminals, so we can connect in either direction. So if we change the direction of the diode, then it will be unbiased negative clipping series circuit. So this is a homework for you people. Please do this at your home and draw these all four waveforms. All four circuits with the same input and input waveform, and you will get the output waveform differently, and the circuit also will be differently. Okay na? So this is a homework for you. Draw the unbiased negative series clipper circuit and see the explanation to yourself. Operation same as like this, by considering the ideal diode also. And another one, draw the circuits of this same unbiased series positive clipper with the practical diode, that is silicon diode, by considering the cutting voltage of 0.7 volts. 0.7 volts cutting voltage is considered as, and draw the waveforms. This is homework for you people. Please do, and please at least try, because if you try only you can understand it well, you can experience it well. And we will see the next topic in tomorrow class. So today we have completed part of fifth chapter, and we have started the sixth chapter. That is, in the fifth chapter we have seen some special semiconductor device, that is LCD, liquid crystal display, how it will work. There are two types of displays, reflective type and transmittive type. So it is a passive display, it does not emit light, it will be used in number of applications. Because of some disadvantages, we have moved to the LEDs, right? And the sixth chapter is about wave shaping circuits. So the input waves, whatever we applied, they will be shaped depending on the circuit components. So in that, the first topic is clippers. We have seen the different classification of these clippers: unbiased, biased, and double-ended, series and shunt, positive and negative, negative and positive. And we have seen the other classification also, because it depends on the biasing and device connection and whatever the portion it is clipping. And that first topic is unbiased series positive clipping. We have considered the ideal diode, which will act as a short circuit for forward bias, and it will act as a open circuit for the reverse bias. And by applying the input sinusoidal voltage, and we have seen the operation of this particular circuit by considering the positive portion separately and negative portion separately, and drawing the circuits in the both half cycles. So we have seen the operation also, and the negative clipping is given as homework for you people. And if you have any doubts, please mail me at sureshnagal2001@gmail.com. You can Google these concepts and you can understand it with easily by referring to some videos. The practical experimenting videos, if you do it yourself in the virtual labs, it is very good and very well. If you are not capable, and if you don't feel it as you didn't understand the concept, that go to refer to the videos. There are YouTube videos available from the NPTEL, right? NPTEL, just type the NPTEL videos are there because they are made from IIT professors. They are very informative, very in-depth discussions happen there, and each department is also there. NPTEL Electronics and Communication. See, subscribe. If you subscribe, there are different basic electronics by Professor T.S. Natarajan. So these are all the IIT professors. They will explain the concepts into the depths also. can just go to the YouTube and type that NPTEL Electronics and Communication Basic Electrons Introduction, so about the multimeter and resistors. So each lesson is about 1 hour, right? 55, 56, 59 minutes. So whenever you have time and if you want to understand, these are the characteristics. S parameters: amplifier, basic amplifier circuit, BJT, FA12. So numbers there, and practical inverter and non-inverter circuits. See this non-linear op amp, millimeter, sorry, it's ammeter. FET characteristics. So every type of experiments also they have done. PDC subject, PN junction diode. See, that's our basic concept. So PN junction diode itself has 3 hours of lesson. So see how in depth the concept they will discuss. It is simple in English, so you can understand very well. And just play one video also. See, full wave rectification circuit. You can choose different qualities of the video. Unfortunately, there are lesser number of views. See, the 2.9 k views, around 3,000 people only saw. But most of them know that these videos are available in YouTube, but they don't see. They don't see these videos posted on 2017 December. It is around 2018. Because actually these videos are actually available in the NPTEL website itself first, but after this YouTube evolution they have decided to post it in the for the good of student community and staff. They have posted in YouTube by creating the channels. So after that they will have this lesser number of views in this YouTube, but they have more number of views in the website. Okay, so with this I conclude today's session. Thank you one and all. Please do prepare it and come for the next video lesson this tomorrow. Thank you.